We've talked about the sewer project, and all of you have had a chance to mention its economic impact. But with specificity, we want to ask you, how are you going to ensure significant participation for minority contractors?
That is a great question, and here's how I'm going to do it. One, the city has to find a way to train its people. And when I go back and look at how the WPA during the New Deal was looked at, Franklin Roosevelt was able to put a lot of citizens to work. Now, that gets into an issue of a lot of the citizens of Akron, with a lot of the jobs, if it requires labor, yes, they will be a part of it. But part of what I'm looking at right now, and I'll put this on the table now because of using a new method of financing the project. It's called a strategic, it's a society impact bond. It's a social impact bond. It pays for success. So the way it works is that we have organizations that are going to train our people. They're going to make the philanthropic investment in it. If they're not successful in getting a certain percentage of Akron citizens eligible for the jobs, the city does not have to pay for the investment in that program. And that goes along with the measure of success. How many of the citizens of Akron have been put to work from this social impact bond? If they're successful, we get an opportunity to pay them a return on the investment, but the beauty of it is that the initial risk is not on the city to do that. And we can use that with defraying a lot of the cost on the green projects with the sewer plant. Because now with the greener initiatives, we know what the measurement is for what they need, and we can have a measurement of success using that.
Okay.
Well, the first step is to structure the contracts, the construction contracts, in a manner in which minority businesses, small businesses can participate in those projects. Second piece is doing the kind of training which we have already done, in which we at City Council we approved CDL training for a number of residents. They have graduated from that program, and many of them are working on the project right now. We need to increase the number of training programs to ensure and rise that number. Now, one of the things that has been talked about, and one of the things that was ideas that was floated, was the creation of a construction company. This particular issue, because of how it was brought into council, encountered difficulties. There needs to be revisited again. And I've told a number of people who are proponents of the construction company that there needs to be a discussion between the citizens of Akron and leadership of Akron to determine what is the best methodology for hiring people and getting Akron residents these jobs. That may be the perfect methodology, but it has to be explored. You have to have a cost-benefit analysis. We have to look at this thing very carefully so that we make sure that people actually get the opportunity to get these jobs. There's nothing worse than promising opportunities and not fulfilling those promises. So it's extremely important that we are very careful in how we do this and meet those goals. Thank you.
All right, do we have any rebuttals?
I get the answer first, and then they can take it.
I still keep, I am so sorry.
That's okay, that's all right. I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention Glenn Stevens and the job he's done to be able to attract minority engineers and minority participation in this contract. So far, it's been excellent. And I wanted just to say one other thing about us not being able to do anything on the sewer project. About $300 million has been spent so far. In fact, 33% of the problem was fixed when, as chairman of the Public Utilities Committee, we passed and built RAC 40, which is a retention basin over on Caucus Street. So there's that misperception that hasn't happened. Getting back to the question, and this is where knowledge of some of those programs help. The county already does an excellent job of workforce and job training. It's just a matter of finding where the center is. And it's very easily located on Talmadge Avenue, right next to the title bureau that I've been running for 8.5 years. If those programs are available, we need to do a better job of making sure those are out there, especially the CDL program and especially the apprenticeship programs. There is money out there. There is training out there. We need to do a better job, and I promise we will do a better job to make sure that the community knows in the most affected areas.
All right, I think we got a flag. Would you like to ask a question?
Yes, I think we all have problems with our mic. I wanted to get a clarification from both Mr. Williams and Mr. Horgan as it relates to this question. When we ask about minority participation, Mr. Williams, you indicated we have to increase participation. Mr. Horgan, you indicated that there are already programs in place. And I just wonder if you can explain, Mr. Williams, if you can tell us what participation, besides the CDL, and Mr. Horgan, if you can tell us what programs are currently available.
Well, first of all, the number one question when you start talking about training is where is that training being given? Transportation is the number one impediment to low-income people and minority people getting that training. So one of the first questions I asked as related to the CDL program was where was the training actually being given? Now the result of that CDL program was a large number of minorities who received their CDL licenses and are now eligible to participate in the jobs that have been created. And they're actually working for many of the companies that are actually doing the work right now. But when you start talking about minority companies being able to actually participate in the contracting and doing that, you have to have the contracts broken down in a manner and also hold the general contractors responsible for making sure that they have minority contractors on their jobs. And that's where we continue to have difficulty.
The specific training that's going on, the county is basically the social safety net and that workforce and job development training. It's been going on for quite a while. When it comes to soft skills and some of the other things that can help with that particular project. That's specific enough? Or there was something else in there too. You had, I just lost my train of thought again. Can you repeat your question again?
I wanted to know, you had indicated that the county, that there were programs in place already, and I wanted to know the minority participation in those programs.
Well, I believe I've answered that.
Do I get a chance to rebut?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, the city owning and trying to run a construction company is one of the most ridiculous things that I've seen or heard come through at this juncture. When I sat in on a city council meeting where they're discussing legislation and trying to pass legislation, when they haven't even been given a financial plan, any type of prospectus or any type of financial analysis on it, and rightfully some of the city council members who are sitting out here questioned the veracity of that, and that was the smart thing to do. But the city is not in the cement business. We are here to provide services to the people in a cost-efficient manner. We're here to make Akron a great place to live, work, and raise a family, and getting into the construction business does not meet with that agenda.